Minecraft is an enormous and expansive game built on surprisingly simple mechanics, but with a lack of tutorials, it can be confusing for many newcomers. Follow me, William Strife, as I cover the basics to the advanced of crafting, surviving, and building. Welcome to the Minecraft Guide. Minecraft is all about digging, crafting, and building, but the most complex types of projects involve redstone. Redstone is an ore commonly found when digging deep mines. It's a type of magical dust that allows you to create powered and electronic items, pseudo-circuitry, and constructs. There's a plenitude of complex things you can build with redstone, but before you can even hope to get creative with the stuff, you first need to learn what items you can craft with it. Aside from redstone dust itself, which functions like a wire when placed, the first two most basic items you'll need to craft are power sources. First are redstone torches and redstone blocks, which act like batteries and supply infinite power to whatever redstone they're connected to. The main difference between these two items is how a torch is stuck where it's placed and can be inverted or turned off, while a block of redstone cannot be shut off but can be moved by a piston, an item which will be covered in a minute. Now, infinite power supplies are all good and well, but switches are also important. First is a button, crafted either from a single piece of smooth stone or any type of wood planks. Buttons emit a redstone pulse for a short period of time before shutting back off, making them perfect for doing things like opening iron doors. Second is a pressure plate, which is crafted from either two smooth stone or two wood planks, and functions exactly like a button. The difference between wood and stone plates is how wooden pressure plates are extra sensitive and will activate if any item is thrown down on it. Third is a tripwire. This trigger is actually made of two different items, tripwire hooks and string. To get a tripwire hook to work, you place two hooks directly across from each other and place string down on all the blocks between the hooks. When the wire is disturbed, both hooks will emit a redstone signal and continue to do so until the wire is no longer tripped. The fifth and final switch is a lever. Levers have a set on and off state, and due to how cheap they are to make, they can also replace redstone torches for some very basic power needs. That's all for manual switches, so let's move on to the items that use redstone signals to make something happen. Before covering any of the more machine-like blocks though, one very important item needs to be covered: the Redstone Repeater. Redstone signals don't travel indefinitely. Their attenuation drops off quickly and only lasts 15 blocks. Repeaters solve this by boosting the signal strength back up to maximum so it can travel another 15 blocks, hence the name Repeater. Additionally, the nub on the top of it is adjustable and determines how long the signal is delayed before being repeated and sent on. This feature makes repeaters very important when creating any sort of redstone construct that requires precise timing. Additionally, repeaters only carry signals in one direction, which is indicated by a sort of arrow texture on their surface. The first machine-type block to cover is the Dispensr. Dispensers act like a sort of launcher or stationary bow, and will eject anything placed inside when activated with redstone. The most common and obvious uses for the Dispensr is for traps and security, as it can be loaded with arrows or fire charges. Following up on the Dispensr is the Piston. This machine does one specific thing: push other blocks. When powered, the piston extends and will push up to 12 blocks, permanently moving them to a new location. The standard piston actually has limited use, but when combined with a slime ball, which is dropped by slimes which spawn in swamps, the piston becomes sticky. This allows the piston to stick to and pull a single block back, allowing it to be used for all sorts of unique and creative designs. Now, for note blocks. This item can't really be described as very useful, but it does add some nice flair to the game. Note blocks can play one of 25 notes spanning 2 octaves. The note the block plays can be changed by right-clicking it and cycling through the selection in a linear fashion. In addition, the instrument the block plays can be changed based on what the note block is sitting on. A grass or dirt block underneath it, and the note will play as a piano. Wood changes the instrument to a guitar. Stone creates a bass drum, sand makes a snare drum sound, and glass creates a sort of clicking. For the most part, the note block is purely aesthetic, but it's still a fun thing to play with. Next is the Redstone Lamp. Crafted from redstone and glowstone, this block is a source of light that can be turned on and off for various creative reasons. Also, if by chance you don't know how to get glowstone, which is required to make the lamp, don't worry, as acquiring that resource is covered in the guide over the Nether. On the topic of the Nether though, there's the daylight sensor. Consisting of glass, wood slabs, and quartz, which is only found in the Nether, it functions as a sort of solar panel, and the strength of the signal it outputs is directly tied to how much sunlight it receives. Moving right along, the next thing to cover is the dropper. The dropper is a sister block to the hopper, which was covered in the previous video over smithing, and very similar to the dispenser covered earlier. Like the dispenser, the dropper will eject an item from its inventory when it receives a redstone pulse. However, the dropper will not shoot things like arrows, meaning that it can't be used to create traps. On the flip side though, it can insert items into another block's inventory the same way a hopper does. This, combined with how droppers can be placed to face any direction, means they can be used to create a sort of item pipe. And unlike hoppers, which can only shift inventories horizontally or downward, the dropper can be made to move things upward. Now, this next item is the brother of the Redstone Repeater, the Comparator, which does not repeat or boost redstone signals, but compares two separate signals. Comparators can receive an extra signal from the side and compare it to the primary signal that comes in from the back. If the side input is stronger than the back input, it shuts the signal off completely. However, if the side signal is weaker, then the back signal is sent on at strength. There's also a second mode that can be toggled on and off, where the strength of the side input is subtracted from the back input, and the remaining signal strength is sent on. To turn this secondary gradual mode on, the small redstone torch at the front of the comparator needs to be lit, which is done by right-clicking it. Now, if that explanation of the comparator confused you, here's the non-technical explanation. The comparator allows for the creation of if-then arguments for complex redstone designs. If the side signal is stronger, then shut the signal off, else keep the signal on. That's it. A simple idea with complex applications. Closing in on the end of the redstone-related objects is the trapped chest, an item that looks only slightly different from a normal chest. Just like normal chests, two trapped chests can be placed next to each other to create a double chest. Additionally, trapped chests will not connect to normal chests, so it's possible to place them side by side for super efficient use of space and storage. However, the most unique feature of a trap chest, as the name suggests, is that it can trigger traps by emitting a redstone signal. The strength of the signal is tied to how many players open the chest at once, and it caps out at 15. Naturally, this means a trapped chest, under most circumstances, will not output a useful signal unless a repeater is used to immediately boost the output. Finally, the last item on the list of redstone objects are weighted pressure plates. These pressure plates are variants of the more common and useful standard versions used to, say, open doors. However, where normal pressure plates can be stepped on, weighted pressure plates only react when items are thrown down on them. There are also two variants: light, made of gold, and heavy, made of iron. As their individual names imply, they take different amounts of weight or items to be activated, and the more items thrown down on them, the stronger the signal they send. That's the majority of the redstone-related items in Minecraft, but there's still much more to cover. If you want to know how all the items detailed in this video can be effectively used, then get ready. In the next part of the Minecraft guide, the intricacies of manipulating redstone currents and building useful machines and constructs out of these items will be covered. Until next time, I'm Strife of the Yogscast, and a Minecraft expert. I'll see you later.